Welcome to the Meat and Potatoes Podcast. We're here with Lyndi Perry, who is the STEM coordinator at Craft Lake City. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Garrett?
I'm good, thank you. This is a really fun event, and we're happy and glad to be involved.
Yeah, DIY Fest. It's
yes.
coming right up.
We've been a helper / partner sponsor for several years now, and it's got traction, 14 years, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's hard to do something more than once, let alone 14 times, so congrats.
Thank you. Well, Angela Brown, she deserves all the credit. She's amazing. She's just a force of nature, absolutely. So
Yes, she is.
holding it together through the COVID years and everything. It's been amazing.
Yeah, she's really cool. All right, let's start with what Craft Lake City is. In particular, you guys do stuff throughout the year, right?
That's right. Yeah, we have a lot in common with you all because we do entrepreneurship development. Ours is just a little bit different focus of an audience. So we bring in artisans and craft food people, and just our mission is to elevate the creative culture of Utah. And we do that through this kind of entrepreneurial development, local first promotion, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I don't know your entire calendar throughout the year, but I know there's like fun workshops and ways to get involved throughout the year. And I remember there was a holiday market at some point. I don't know if that went away.
Yeah, we're still doing that. We have that'll be entering its 4th year, and we do it in Ogden. So we're always really excited to be expanding our programming. And it's really a fun place to get Christmas presents from a local first kind of mentality.
Yeah. Local first is great. It's better for the environment, better for the local ecosystem, better for the entrepreneurs.
You get to help your neighbors,
Yeah.
Your money comes back to you, and yeah.
It's great.
We love it.
STEM stands for what, for those that don't know?
Right. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So lots of people use it as an educational buzzword. We try to bring it full circle. So you can plug in at any time in your life and still be part of STEM. We bring tinkerers and people who have really interesting hobbies. At DIY Fest, we kind of showcase all of the people we work with throughout the year. And some of my favorites are the guy who makes guitar effect pedals at Wasatch Noiseworks. He just, has a little hobby where he makes these distortion pedals for guitars. And I'm a guitarist, so big fan.
Yeah.
And then a guy who makes biochar in his backyard. Go biochar with John Webster. I mean, it's just, we find these interesting people who are really passionate about what they do. And then we bring it all together at DIY Fest. It's super fun.
Yeah.
We also have all ages programming. People like the Leo and Red Butte are coming in to do exhibits there, and just kind of do hands-on stuff with kids so that we have that aspect of bring the whole family. Everybody will find something interesting and fun to do in our STEM building at DIY Fest this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you neglect science, technology, engineering, and math, and you have kids as they grow up, you'll feel very stupid on a daily basis, right? When you can't answer basic questions about those 3 or 4 things.
Yeah.
So it's good to, whether you just like to moonlight in science or engineering, it's good to always keep it at the top of your brain of this is what makes the world go around.
Yeah.
Whether it's fun tinkering or a building or a bridge, right?
Well, and I always think of STEM as an excuse for grown-ups to get involved in fun things that their kids do.
Yeah.
Because we do our water rocket program at DIY Fest. We have funding to do it all year long in Title I schools. But at DIY Fest, it's kind of a centralizing activity where it just brings people together. And parents, they are just as excited about it as the kids.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite thing is to take a picture of all the people who are taking pictures while their rockets are launching. It's so cute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a good rocket launch is great because it explains a lot about how airplanes work and rockets and how America landed on the moon.
Yeah, and just geometry, how shapes change, the function of the rockets when you put a nose cone on there as opposed to just the 2-liter bottle,
Yeah.
So.
Very cool. All right, we're going to kind of focus in on DIY Fest presented by Harmon's, who's great. August 12th, 13th, and 14th, so it won't be cold.
Bring water bottles.
Yes. Utah State Fairpark, which is a fantastic place. Parking's easy, access is easy. And let's zero in on this then. What does the kind of the agenda look like? How can people get involved, and why should they come?
Yeah, so it's a weekend-long event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Why should they come? Because it's going to be awesome. It's, like I said, everything we do throughout the year for entrepreneurship development and workshop programming. It brings everybody together. all that local first stuff that we've talked about, and amazing food. We just like open the gates and the food trucks drive right in and get a little bit of everything you've wanted to try in one spot. Like I said, this year we're bringing the water rockets back, which is going to be really fun. We need volunteers for that. So that's one thing that people could get involved with in a hands-on way if they wanted to, both helping kids design the rockets, but then also launching them in our outdoor launch pad. And I think they should come because it's just like amazing. There's music and it's festival life, but it's Utah first. So you're, seeing your neighbors out there. It's
Love
great
it.
stuff.
And you guys are a little bit similar to us in that things kind of culminate for you guys with this event. You do stuff throughout the year. We have a similar event that things kind of culminate, and then we keep going after that. Well, we decide whether to or not. You guys clearly keep deciding to go on 14 years. And it all kind of culminates where there's a lot of smiling faces and happy people. And the times I've been, the kids talk about it for 2 or 3 weeks, which is great.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, so we do just love that whole life approach, right? Like families, grown-ups, kids. One of my fun priorities there is to see Kid Row, which is where like kids can be entrepreneurs. They make their own crafts. They can get their own booth space. So not only is there like fun stuff for kids to do there, they can sell their stuff. They can learn how to be an entrepreneur starting at a very young age.
Yeah.
So I just love the fact that it's like teaching skills at the same time that we're like putting on this really entertaining event.
Oh, yeah.
For the whole family.
Yeah, Kid Row's amazing because, a kid could like do a drawing and sell it to their grandma, right? But only to their grandma. But there's like kids doing really cool stuff that they could sell. But then that requires like, because you guys have rules, right? Like you got to show up at this time, your table need.
Yep.
If you're going to go to the bathroom, have a sign that says I'm away. But then also like they need to be able to do math to count out money or set up a Venmo, all of that,
and
right?
like social media, they have to like take a picture and provide a description of the product they're selling and tell us how much stock they have. And yeah, it's fun.
So then it's like, it's not all just like butterflies and cotton candy. It's like,
I mean,
there's
there's
a
that
balance
too.
sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, what are my margins, right? Like it really, the kids are like, that's not all just fun.
Yeah.
There's some work that goes into this.
Right, exactly.
And the real world comes at you fast. And the sooner they realize that, the better.
Right. And like, it's kind of an extension of like a lemonade stand, right? Like the big version, because you get to interact with so many people at the festival that it just feels like, if for kids who like that entrepreneurship side of things and like interacting with people, they get a huge audience. And that's just amazing for a kid to have access to that big of a world,
Yeah. And so if there's folks listening that their kids are entrepreneurial, is there still time for them to get on Kids Row, or is that?
I think our applications are closed for that right now, but you can check it out this year at the festival and keep it on your radar for next year when that process opens again.
Yeah. Because you guys have like a pretty good cadence of like, this needs to be here and done by this time.
Right.
And it's a big event and it requires deadlines, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like 2019, between the vendors and the public and everybody that came through over the weekend before COVID hit that year, we had gotten up to like 20,000 participants in some way or another throughout the weekend. So it's just a huge event, it's massive and it takes a lot of management. So yeah, we keep it on a good timeline.
Yeah, for sure.
To make sure all the pieces work.
And then you mentioned briefly volunteers. Those are needed for this type of thing.
Yeah. So I think the STEM building is going to be funnest. The rocket launches and things like that. We'll have theme content that's going to be really fun this year. On Friday night, V School is going to do some coding with our audience, our public, as like a presentation, like go deeper into this topic. And then on Saturday, we're talking about sustainability. So we'll have like an expert panel and ways that volunteers can get involved with, bringing more awareness to sustainable efforts in science, technology, engineering, and math. And then Sunday, we're having a Backyard Makers Day. So we'll need lots of hands for people who are interested in learning a new hobby. Like there's a guy, Sergio, who his business is called Brainstorm Woodworking. And he's going to teach people how to etch on metal cups, like just as a hands-on experiment that you can do anywhere with like a 9-volt battery and just some salt water. So
cool.
All sorts of ways for volunteers to like learn something new, help with something awesome, and just get involved.
Yeah. And regardless, like, this is all amazing. It's way better than sitting home and watching Netflix.
Yeah.
There's no football. There's no college football. Like, this is the place to be on the 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Of August. That's
Yes.
right.
Coming right up. Okay. And then obviously all of these things that we've talked about can be found on the website, which is...
That's right. craftlakecity.com. There's information about DIY Fest there. There's our volunteer links all from the main navigation page. So easy to get around there. Everyone's also welcome to email me stem@craftlakecity.com. And if they can't find what they're looking for really quickly, I can do it really fast. Happy to just reply to whatever I get in my inbox.
Cool. I imagine the inbox is like pretty hectic right now, but that's the way you make things move, is replying to emails.
Right.
All right. So volunteers, good. And then, you know, for the kids that are going to be involved this year, they're getting ramped up. And for those that missed it, come and see so you can get your kids involved next year.
Yeah.
Don't really have to worry about COVID this year, right? Like, that's a nice thing.
Yeah, we're following CDC guidelines, but right now that means optional masking, and, you know, people who have been exposed should manage that. And then we feel pretty comfortable offering a lot of options for people who maybe don't feel comfortable in our indoor spaces. It's a huge outdoor festival presence too. So wherever people feel comfortable, we welcome them.
Yep. No reason not to come.
Right.
So there you go. All right. Cool. And we'll include some of this in the description of the podcast for folks that weren't taking notes. But this is a great thing, and we're really excited to be involved. And grassroots moves the needle, and I'm sure you guys can trace back dozens, if not hundreds, of stories over 14 years of a lot of these kids moving on to really cool and exciting things.
Yep, it's exciting.
Very cool. All right. Craft Lake City DIY Fest, August 12th, 13th, and 14th, the Utah State Fairpark. Easy parking, lots of fun, happy faces, good food. What's not to like?
Nothing.
Love it. All right. Thank you, Lyndi. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you so much, Garrett.
Appreciate it.
Nice to talk to you.